I would say it's a combination of issues and character. It's important to be able to agree with what the candidate has to say, but also you have to wonder if they have enough experience, um, how their actions in the past prove what they are saying now, and whether you can believe what they're trying to say, which is very important. And I think during this election, it's especially crucial. The nation is so divided between one side and the other that I think it's really important for a candidate to find a middle ground and really try to help everyone and not just one side.
I would say policy is probably the most important thing for me, but it's also important to look at their leadership style. Usually the way things sort of progress is that, someone gets elected and there may be a party in control, but generally I feel like, Congress will be one party and the presidency is another, which sort of creates like that bipartisan sort of feel. So you need to make sure that whoever you end up voting for is someone who, they can have really amazing policies, but the fact is if their party's not in control of Congress, they're not going to be able to get any of that stuff through. So it does need to be someone who can reach across the aisle and who does have that strong leadership style.
I don't think it's patriotic to pay more taxes. I think that giving back to the community should be more inspired by giving back to charity. I don't think it's the government's job to give a helping hand to everyone. I think it's charitable work. And John McCain has actually donated about 23% of his earnings, and his wife basically just dedicates all her money. She's pretty wealthy, comes from a pretty wealthy family, and she does just an outrageous amount of charity work. And I just don't think that we need to look to the government to solve our charity problems. I think that people need to look inside themselves and donate. And the people that make $250,000 a year, maybe they're surgeons who went to college or went to post-high school education through 14 years, and they should be able to keep some of that money. Like, they worked so hard to get where they are, and a lot of those self-made millionaires, they work just 80 hours a week, just ridiculous, and they should be allowed to keep some of their money, and a lot of them give to charities, and I think that's where we need to be looking rather than to just tax them.
But again, taxes also benefit education, where
Yeah, if I could say this, no one is in favor of taxes. No one wants to give their money away. Like, we've worked hard for it regardless of what we're doing, regardless of how much we're making. It's ours, we want to do with it as we please. But at the same time, what's the alternative? No taxes? Who's going to pay for schools? Who's going to pay for roads? Who's going to pay for the military when we need defense? Like, there is a flip side to taxes being, awful. They are kind of beneficial in a way, too. I mean, especially right now, I have to say, as crazy as it may sound, I would be totally in favor of raising taxes, if for no other reason than to pay off our national debt. It's like $10 trillion right now. That can't be good for the economy.
I would have to agree. I mean, taxes happen. I'm not going to complain if I have to pay taxes. Like you said, it's not feasible for no one to pay taxes. I see the thing with John McCain is I just think he's going to be more prudent in how he uses the money with government. I just think Barack Obama wants, because we're in a crisis, so the last thing we need to be doing is spending more money than we take in. But Barack Obama, I just see the problem is that he's already proposed a $300 billion stimulus to our economy. So where's all this money coming from, and what's inflation going to be like after this happens? That's just my question. I can't disagree with you guys really on the taxes. I personally wouldn't mind paying taxes, but also I see the benefit in the personal giving and personal responsibility towards one's country.
I don't know. For me, I know I don't understand politics a whole lot, and it might be a really general view, but it's kind of a question of who do I want to have the power and responsibility? Do I want it to be in the financially elite who are a minority, or do I want it to be in the government who is also a minority? Either way, I'm putting my trust out there to say, okay, these people, they have a lot of money, and I'm trusting them to do the right thing. Or am I saying, okay, this is the government, I'm trusting them to do the right thing? That's the question that I know I'm dealing with. That's the question I know a lot of people, my friends, are dealing with in the same light. Like, who can I trust? Can I trust, it would be nice for these people to, the really wealthy to have their own say on how their money is spent and the taxes and just have that kind of stuff. But can I trust them to make the right decisions? And just in light of like recent events in the news and big corporations, the answer is no, but that doesn't mean there's still aren't people out there that can do that. But then in the same light, the government, like I'm not a big fan of Obama's healthcare plan, the universal healthcare plan. I can honestly say I'm not, because I'm studying to be a doctor, and I know that's going to affect the competition in doctors. I know that's going to affect just the way patients are treated, the quality of healthcare. I know that's going to be affected. So I think it's in both lights, like which one do you want to have that power? Which one do you trust more? Do you trust the elite, or do you trust the government more? So.
With the government, though, there is sort of a sense of accountability that you don't have with these sort of financial elite types, even if it's not very good accountability. Like, we just won't vote them back in. Okay, well, they still got 5 years left on their term, so that's kind of a frustrating aspect, I suppose.
True, but then, like, I don't know, I'm a big optimist too, so I really believe in the heart of people saying, okay, I know this is right, so let me just do what's right, what needs to be done.